why does his tone of voice anger me? But I left so mad at the way you spoke to me. And I was like, are you trying to fight with me? Like,
I felt that I was trying, and I felt that I was working on what you had been asking me to work on, but it wasn't enough.
you're going to have disagreements. Let's start there, guys. Okay? If you're having disagreements, love that for you. You're in a healthy marriage. Now, it's the way we handle the disagreements. We all have to work our way up there. And maybe some of you are just experts, and praise God for your life. We're talking about communication.
I mean, I would love to know, how did you feel at that point? Because it's like at that point, I feel like we were not seeing eye to eye.
We've put this big wall just of like feelings and words unspoken, and words unspoken will turn into resentment.
And you'd be like, well, this is the first time you tell me this. Like, why didn't you communicate that then? Why didn't you communicate that it was bothering you? And I'm feeling like this is the tipping point. Like, yo, I've been dealing with this, and I'm saying something now, and you're like, well, this is the first time you tell me. And I'm like, bruh, like, in my head, you should know.
You said that to me, that it felt like it was never enough. And that like really hurt my heart, because I was just like, dang, like, I'm not that type of girl.
It's too easy to go on defense mode and try to shift the blame, or not accept accountability, or even just listen to what your partner is saying. So
I'm dumping on you, you're dumping on me, and now we're like little kids fighting,
and we're not hearing each other.
We're like, well, my pain is worse.
Yeah.
My pain is worse because you did this. And everything would change if we validate it. And I'm like, okay, hold on, pause. Let me try to hear you and practice that. You know, like the word says, like, be slow to speak and quick to listen.
I'm sure it gets so much better than where we are right now, because I remember when we weren't, and when we were just bumping heads, and when we couldn't see it each other's way.
Yeah.
Now it's like, dude, it just makes it so much easier.
What's up, you guys? We are back. I just told her we don't say we're back.
I know, and I'm like, okay.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Seeds and Soil podcast. Yay! Today we're going to talk about something that every marriage needs. I think we all have to work our way up there. And maybe some of you are just experts, and praise God for your life. We're talking about communication. Communication can make, or the lack thereof, break our marriages. And so we want to talk about that today. Because what do we do when you feel misunderstood or unheard, right? When you feel stretched thin, when husband is working too much and wife is at home, and because we don't have communication, now we're like living in two different worlds. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So let's get into it.
Come on. Amazing. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
Because I feel like we are obviously not experts. So it just kind of feels a little bit cynical. I mean, I think just sitting here always just feels a little bit cynical, but God is good. So we're going to move on. Yeah. People can have this false perspective that, oh, you have a podcast, that we are good.
Yeah.
And we've navigated and we've mastered that.
Yeah.
And of course we haven't,
100%.
you know, but we sit here just as friends. We always say this. We sit here just as friends that say, hey, this feels like this is a pattern going on with my friends. This is a pattern going on just in things that we see, right? In everyday life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this would be something good to talk about. So that feels cynical, right? Because
For sure.
we haven't mastered that.
For sure.
But we've gotten so much better. I think from when we were even a couple of years ago. And so I feel like if we can share our little pieces of, like, our little golden nuggets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That's all we're here for, just to share the little things that we've learned along the way. And mind you, we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
And we're still working today on our communication, our relationship. But yeah, we'll share the little nuggets that we've learned.
Yeah.
Through our journey. And that's all this is.
Why do I think communication matters? Well, because I don't think that couples want to be separated.
Yeah.
And when we're not communicating, it does separate us.
Mhm.
If I don't understand how you're feeling, what are you going to do? Be excited to be with me? Probably not. You are going to go hide, or and I think men have different ways of hiding, where it can be a sport. I'm going to go play my sport. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do extra hours. Like, I'm going to go play video games, whatever. Like, everyone has something different.
Mhm.
And I think that when we're not communicating, we avoid, right?
Mhm.
And now it feels like it's two people living under the same roof in two different worlds. And that feels very hefty.
Yeah. What would you say? What's the woman's version of running away or
Crying.
what?
We cry. We cry and
What
we
do
get
you?
angry. I
Yeah.
think that well, I will speak for me. I shut down.
Mhm.
Like, I shut down when we're not communicating, because I feel like unsafe, or
Mhm.
not, or just unheard.
Mhm.
So I shut down. And you're like, you want me to tell you, but I'm like, for what if nothing's changing?
Yeah.
Like, we've had that.
Yeah.
And even that conversation years ago, and yeah, so I shut down. I don't know if many women do that, but I think that we can begin to shut down and even just wonder, like, I think we're doubting ourselves.
Mhm.
Like, do you still love me? Is this still worth it? Like, am I still enough? Like, all of that,
Mhm.
and that's why communication matters, because I think then we can begin to create a narrative in our head that is non-existent.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with what you said. Like sometimes, yeah, it's just easy to shut down and not want to share because it's like you're not gonna get it anyway, so it's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna push through.
So I have a question for you. You know how, so women, I think we shut down, and I think men shut down too, and it looks different, right?
Mhm.
Um, but what do you think from the husband side? Do you feel? I think you've said this to me too before. Like, you've said to me, um, like, well, nothing that I'm doing feels like it's enough.
For sure. Yeah. I think I mean I'll explain why. For one, why I felt that or communicated that was just because every time, I'd be working, and work alone is a lot. And then I
Mm-hmm.
deal with my clients,
Yeah.
and my clients are expecting as well, right? And they just want from me. And then obviously your kids are going to want from you.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids just want, and then I'm coming home and I know you want as well and you want
Yeah.
something from me. But when I started communicating that to you was because I was like super stressed, and it felt like the tipping point in a sense. Like it was just like, yo, this
Yeah.
is because you wanted. And I think you were the one person also who it just felt the heaviest, right? When you would be like, that's fine. Yeah, you're doing that, but it's not enough. Or I don't think you're doing enough. I don't think you're not making time to hang out with us. You're
Mm-hmm.
not making, and if we did hang out, there was times where we did hang out, and to me it was like it counted as hanging out, but to you it was like that wasn't intentional though.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And like
Yeah.
I took time off work and we did this thing or
Yeah.
whatever, and you were like, but that didn't count.
Yeah.
That wasn't a date, or that wasn't. And so that would push that was like I felt that I was trying and I felt that I was working on what you had been asking me to work on, but it wasn't enough. And then on top of that, there was new things being added on or new things being, uh, you know, asked of me, and that was the stress that I was feeling.
Yeah.
But
Like, it was
then,
more and more and more.
yeah, it was just more and more and more. And I mean, I would love to know, how did you feel at that point? Because it's like at that point, I feel like we were not seeing eye to eye.
Right.
You didn't see it the way I saw it.
Yeah.
And if I was stressed out, feeling like you, like this is never enough, you didn't sympathize with that at that moment because you didn't feel that.
Yeah.
You really felt that I wasn't doing enough
Mm-hmm.
or I wasn't trying. So it's so crazy to think like that I was in my
Trying.
I felt that I was trying and it was stressful,
Yeah.
but for you it was literally like we really had different points of views and we really you didn't see it my way and I didn't see it your way.
Yeah.
What was your way at that point?
Well,
What
I
were
think
you
that
seeing?
it was surrender, you know, like surrendering my pride,
Mhm.
our pride. I'm gonna cry. um, I mean, there's so much to unpack in everything you just said, but I think the main thing was surrendering my pride of, well, if he wanted to, he would. Which, be very careful with social media girls and this culture and this like Miss Independent thing, because I think I was feeling like, well, if he wanted to, he would. And then it didn't feel like enough because I just felt like, oh, that's it. Like, oh, that's it. And it felt, you're saying you were trying, but in my head, I had an image of what I wanted you to do,
It
but
felt
you
like
wouldn't do that.
trying wasn't enough. It had to always be like the full thing. I had to be at the finish line every time. I had to give you the full
Yeah, the whole
package.
shebang, like the
And
balloons, the
and if it's
dinner, the
not that
playlist, everything. Like it had
and
to
if
be
it's
picture
not
perfect.
that and if it was just effort, that wasn't enough.
Right. Because I just felt like, oh, effort. Like, what are we in high school? That's what it felt like,
Yeah.
you know? But I wasn't understanding. I was not understanding your world. I was not understanding your stress. I was not seeing your deadlines. I was not hearing the conversations of clients, you know, with the high pressure. I wasn't understanding that. Again, because we were not communicating. I would ask you, how's work? Oh, good. Oh, good. Work is fine. And I would just be like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, you were not coming and saying, dang, love, like work has been crazy. So and so is expecting this of me. I have to do all these projects and I have all of these deadlines. It was not that. It was like,
Yeah.
how's work? How was the project? Good. You know?
Good. I got a lot going on this week.
Yeah. And that was
Yeah.
it. And so, how am I supposed to know, right? It's not good. Yeah, it's good. Praise God, we have work, but dang, that's a lot of pressure, you
Mhm.
know? But we were not communicating.
Mhm.
And so, in my mind, it was just like, okay, like, work is good, everything's good. Like, now I expect you to come home and show up for us. And it just felt like we were not getting that. So then I feel like, you know, well, do you love me? Well, do you even care? Right? And again, I think that it's the lack of communication
Mhm.
where we were not, I think both of us being mature, right? To say really how it is to be open and vulnerable.
Yeah.
To say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and hey, this is how I'm feeling. At
Mhm.
home, this is weighty too. At
Mhm.
work, this is weighty. You know,
Mhm.
how can I help you today? You
Mhm.
know, but back to your question, you asked what helped, right? Or for me, it was surrender. Like, surrender my idea and my pride of what I wanted to look like. And I really had to practice. I think one time you said, like, you said that to me, that it felt like it was never enough. And that, like, really hurt my heart because I
Mhm.
was just like, dang, like, I'm not that type of girl to be, like, ungrateful or dissatisfied. And it hurt me that you said that because you're like, I'm trying and it just feels like it's never enough. And I had to bring that before the Lord and I had to say, Lord, help me to see his effort and to appreciate it, right? And also seeing, like, just again the different ways that we were raised. That for what is effortless to me is not for
Facts.
you.
Facts.
You know,
Because
because I can effortlessly love someone
yeah.
and see them and speak words of life over them. But I know everyone can't do that. And I
Mhm.
expected you to do something that was easy for me. that was not easy for you. So I had to stop and see you and appreciate that. And like that was practice, and that like was practice to put my pride down of what I expected to look like.
And we're very different. Like we literally have opposite
So
love
different.
languages. Like we're
Yeah.
different. Um, her love language is quality time. What's my love language? I don't even know.
Touch, words of
Physical
affirmation,
touch,
service.
service,
And his
acts of
last
service is
one
my
is
favorite.
quality time,
And
which
my
is my
last
first
one
one.
is quality time.
Yeah.
And so we've struggled a lot because we're
Yeah.
literally opposites. We like different things. Like, and in your head, there's certain things. It's like why, and you might look at me and be like, why didn't you think to do this,
Mm-hmm.
or why you should know what I want already because I've told you and I should know and I should have remembered everything that you've told me. I'm very bad at that, and there's a lot of things that don't come natural to me, like
Right.
being romantic and all those things. Like it hasn't came natural to me, and it's a thing that requires a little bit more effort and intentionality,
Yeah.
and it's not second nature for me. And but yeah, I know that's certainly caused some conflict at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I think for us, it just felt that like, oh, well, you're not communicating, I'm not communicating. And then we end up with this big giant wall,
Mm-hmm.
right? We end up with
Mm-hmm.
this big giant wall, and you're kind of like, I always say like this wall, like you're trying, like I'm jumping over to see like what's going on in your world. But we've put this big wall just of like feelings and words unspoken will turn into resentment,
For sure.
you know?
For sure.
And I always see it as like cement. Words unspoken, unforgiveness is like cement. You're slapping it on this wound. And you're just slapping it every single time. And then what happens with cement? Obviously, every layer gets thick and it's hard to break through,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so that's the one thing that we for sure I felt all the time because I'm such a feeler. So that was really hard. But I practice communication with him all the time, and I'm like, no, we're gonna talk, and I'm all crying.
And there's times where I'd say something and I'd express my frustration with you,
Yeah,
and then it'd be news to you, and you'd be like, well, this is the first time you tell me this. Like, why
yeah,
didn't you communicate that then? Why didn't you communicate that it was bothering you? And I'm feeling like this is the tipping point. Like, yo, I've been dealing with this, and I'm saying something now, and you're like, well, this is the first time you tell me. And I'm
yeah,
like, bruh, like, in my head, you should know. In my
yeah.
head, but I kept my mouth shut.
Right.
And so now I've learned, I'm like, all right, just say it. Like, just say, hey.
Yeah.
And we're not saying this all the time. We're not saying things to each other all the time. I don't know what the last thing I told you was. I really don't. But I don't hold back on communicating as much
Yeah.
now if I need to. Like, hey, that bothered me.
Which is challenging. That. Yeah.
But I mean, that's been the best thing for us.
So, I think that most miscommunication comes from us not validating each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I say us, but generally in marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we are not validating the feeling. And oh, this is something I've tried to work with you a lot. Like, can you just hear me and not say anything?
Yeah.
Right? Because I think that we're not validating each other and we're just comparing pain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did this. Oh yeah, well you made me feel like this.
For sure.
And then we're just like children.
Yeah.
Like going back and forth, and it's like, okay, this is not going to lead us anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dumping on you, you're dumping on me. And now we're like little kids fighting.
And we're not hearing each other.
And
We're
we're not
just
hearing each other.
pointing the
Right?
finger.
We're like, well, my pain is worse.
Yeah.
My pain is worse because you did this.
Yeah.
And everything would change if we validate it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that's one thing that has helped us, where it's like, okay, let me swallow my pride, or let me hear you. Like, I have to say that because I'm a feeler. So I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, okay, hold on, pause. Let me try to hear you and practice that. You know, like the word says, like, be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really want to practice in my marriage and being a mom and a friend. Um, but I think that was one thing that I tell you and I tell the boys. Like, I tell the boys, listen to how they're feeling. And with us, validating how we feel. Like, I have to validate your stress and your frustrations, right? And I think I want you to do the same for me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you to bring the solution. Can you just say, I hear you?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I feel like that would help so much. I
Mm-hmm.
tell the boys, like, when they're fighting, it's that. It's like literally they go back and forth, right? About, yeah, you did. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Like, and they're fighting, and I'm like, listen, you messed up. You messed up. You made him feel this way. You made him feel this way. Can you just acknowledge that? Yeah, okay, that's it. Because we all just want to be heard and validated. So I think that that's a huge thing. Um, the communication matters because it's gonna lead us into that. Like, I don't want to fight. I want to hear you, right? I want to hear your world, and I want you to hear my world. I'm at home, overstimulated, serving all day, dealing with crying kids, fighting kids, a lot of defiance.
Mm-hmm.
That's very stressful, right? And you have a different type of stress, but we both feel the same way. Just
Yeah.
in different things have caused to that.
I can't remember the point where we basically, I can't remember when it happened, but at some point basically my mind shifted and was like, okay, I need to listen to what you're saying intently and let me actually listen. And then I felt that you were ready to do the same as well and to listen to what I had to say, and we just finally had a conversation and we're like, all right, what do you want in this relationship? And what do you want in this
Right.
relationship? And we got to kind of state what, like, ideally what we want. I don't know if you remember, like, one time I
I
told you,
do remember.
I was like, I want to work out together and I want us to be,
Oh yeah, when
I
we're
want to,
planning.
yeah, I was like, I
Yeah.
want us to work out together and eat healthy together. Like, these are things that we have not implemented into our lifestyle just yet that I would like for you to help with.
Yeah.
I can't remember everything you told me that day, but I think, I don't know what, again, I don't remember what drove us to that point, but I mean, the earlier you can get to that, the better. I
Yeah.
think we both need to be willing to hear each other out and say, okay, you want something different than what I want. The ideal marriage, the ideal day-to-day routine looks different in your head than how it looks in my head.
Mhm.
And we need to be able to put that on paper or share it with each other and say, okay, you'll take some steps this way, I'll take some steps that way,
Right.
and let's work on this together
We'll meet
and
in the middle.
create, yeah, the ideal relationship that both of us will be happy with.
Yeah.
But until you have that mindset where you're willing to take a step towards your partner and say,
Yeah.
okay, I will cater to what you want, even though it's not my natural instinct, I will put in the effort to take some steps towards you. And then when that's reciprocated, then it's like, then you start to have some progress. Then communication daily as well. Like, I feel like our communication is so much better now than it once was.
Yeah.
We see each other, we hear each other.
But I just really want to say that because I feel like someone's gonna say, "Well, I can't get there yet," right? I
Mm-hmm.
think I must say that like we first have to come in forgiveness, guys.
For sure.
Forgiveness. Like, I forgive you for the ways you've made me feel, and please forgive me for the way that I've made you feel unintentionally or intentionally. You know, but I really want to say too that like don't be mean to each other on purpose, because all you're gonna do, you're throwing darts, and every dart leaves a scar. So if he mistreated me with his words and I mistreated him back, I'm not excited because now everything negative that he spoke over me, I carry that with me. If he ever called me like dumb or ugly, like, which he hasn't, we've never attacked each other with our words. Um that's like such a dangerous place. And so if that's you, like we have to come in forgiveness, and there's so many things that he's had to forgive me about when I've fallen short, when I've belittled him, right? When maybe I was treating him as a child and he's not. and and also things that I've had to forgive him of, right? When I expected for him to show up and he didn't. And I got angry because the part of me was like, "Oh, you let me down." And I felt like you don't care, right? And I start believing this lie now that he doesn't care, and that's not even truth, right? So now if I let that feeling or that thought unfold, well, a feeling turns into the thought, then it becomes my reality, and I live in that. Well, you don't love me, you don't think about me, you don't care about me, and that is so far from the truth, because he's at work for us. He's at work hustling, grinding to get bills paid, to make sure that I get to still stay home with the kids. You know what I mean? So in that, I can get resentment, and I can only speak from my side. I don't know if other women feel like that or if other men, but I know that for me, I had to come, one, in repentance to the Lord for treating my spouse as my child when he is not a child. And the Lord met me in that. The Lord said, stop speaking to him like he's your kid. And I was like, whoa, okay. um, Repentance for that, and then forgiveness. Forgiveness, I had to say, okay, I surrendered. And I said this to him yesterday. I'm like, I feel like I have to come with my sword, like, okay, ready to fight, and I feel like I'm asking the Lord to help me in that area, because I did grow up on fight or flight, and I'm always ready to fight. I'm always ready to fight. I'm like, oh, you want to fight? But we were having a discussion yesterday, I think, or 2 nights ago. And I was like, okay, hold up. Like, we both have to come and let's put our swords down. It feels like defeat and surrender. Do you remember?
Mm.
And I was like, we have to just put them down. Like, I'm not trying to fight you. Like, hear me, I hear you, and then let's meet in the middle, right?
We say that a lot now. I'm not trying to fight you. Hey, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, you say it a lot.
Yeah.
But
because I remember one time, I don't know what the conversation was, but I left so mad at the way you spoke to me.
Mm.
And I left, like, I think I said to you, I can't even do this right now.
Yeah.
And we were outside, and I was like, are you trying to fight with me? Like, and I had to come into the room, and I got on my knees, and I was like so angry and telling the Lord, why do I feel this way? Like, why does his tone of voice anger me? Because it does. And
Yeah.
I think anybody that speaks to me like that, I have to be like, are they trying to fight me right now? Or why are they speaking to me like that?
Yeah.
And I sat with it with the Lord, and I was like, Lord, why? And, the Lord showed me, like, hey, like, as a little girl, like, everyone screamed at me, and everyone was like, in the sense of like, porque dije que no y ya. Like, that tone of voice makes my little brain go in fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Like, you have to survive right now. So figure it out.
Yeah.
And I had to have that conversation with you, which was really annoying for me, because I'm like, this is too vulnerable. This is embarrassing. Like, how old am I
remember
talking
you told
like
me
this?
that. Yeah.
And I came to him and I said, look, like, and I was crying, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I just really wish you would speak to me more gentle. Because I'm like, because I guess I have some type of pain that when I was little, I was spoken to like that often.
And if I remember correctly, when you brought that up to me, like, it took all the courage in you, like, in a sense, like, you separated yourself from me.
Because I didn't want to argue and scream at you.
You processed this, everything that you just explained, you processed it on your own. You came back to me.
Yeah.
You let your heart out, and you tell me, like, basically, I figured out why I feel this way.
Yeah.
I've identified the trauma.
I was so happy like a little kid.
Yeah, and I remember I just kind of like undermined it, because I was like,
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly,
Yeah, you did.
I felt like I was like you were wrong in what you were doing. And so I was like, that's cool and all, but
Yeah.
it wasn't right. Like,
Yeah. And I was just
and
like,
you're like, and
and I
then
was,
again, you were like, yo, I just poured it all
and
out.
I was just like, you know what? I'm leaving again, and I'm gonna go cry again,
You're
because
like,
obviously this does not matter.
she wanted me to accept it and be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing that you identified this.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, like, I just felt disrespected or something. I don't know what I felt, but I was
Yeah.
just like, yo, the way you were responding was not right. And there's been plenty of times when I've told you, like, hey, like, we don't got to play defense all the time. You know, we don't
Yeah.
always have to be on
Yes.
defense. And I think that's very
Yeah.
important in relationships, man. It's just, it's too easy to go on defense mode and try to shift the blame or not accept accountability or even just listen to what your partner is saying. So,
Yeah.
and it's easy to go on defense mode and feel like you're being attacked,
Yeah.
but
Or that you have to fight back.
you have to fight back. And it's like, I think growth comes from when you just decide to put that pride down and say, all right, like, let me listen.
And that's maturity.
And yeah,
Maturity, like, I think about this because it's truth what he said. He's like, you don't have to defend yourself all the time. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, yes, I do. And he's right. I don't, because, sorry, my hair. He's like, you don't have to defend yourself all the time. And I feel like I do, because I'm like, well, if I don't defend myself, who's going to defend me? Right?
mm-hmm.
But again, that is something that I, Monse, I don't know if you struggle with the same thing, but I have to surrender that to the Lord. That, like, how many times the Lord has told me, be quiet, don't say anything. And it doesn't mean, like, don't stand up for yourself. It's just because the way that I'm used to
Mm-hmm.
defending myself is not in a kind way, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, I'm going to let you have it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. And it all comes down to, again, validation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, hey, if he's telling me that I'm lacking in an area, he's not trying to attack me. And I have to remember, he's not trying to attack you.
Yeah, because
Monse.
even sometimes I try to tell you, phrase things in a way where it's like, I feel you can improve here, and to you it's like I'm saying that you suck at
Yeah,
this,
right.
and it's like, no, I'm just saying you can improve.
So you're
in
saying
this.
I suck.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah. And you said something earlier, like, yo, I'm not trying to fight. And I think one thing that, I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, but it's like, okay, I think I have. Like, okay, we're a team. We are on the same team. And we say this to the boys too when we're correcting them and they're like angry. Like, calm down. We're on the same team and we want to make this
Mm-hmm.
work. Right? But I think knowing that, and again, like, leaving my fight or flight mode, like leaving my fight mode, because I'm always trying to fight. um, and knowing, okay, you're not trying to argue with me. Like, you really care, and you're telling me that, hey, I'm lacking in this area. And I have to learn to take that
Mm-hmm.
in a way where it's not defensive.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, like, I only feel that way with him, with you. Because anyone at church can tell me something.
For real.
And I'm like, oh, great. Thanks so much for letting me know. Like, anyone can tell me
They
that.
could say the same thing I said.
But the minute my husband says it, I'm like, well, excuse you, Mr. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it sounds funny, but it's not funny when that's your response all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
what
honestly,
what does that mean?
what is what
If that's
mean?
your response, and that's, what does that mean? Like, because yeah, in a sense, like,
I think
it's
that
not
it's because,
funny, and it's something that needs to be changed if you want to see progress.
well, I think that I think it stems from resentment of like, oh, you want to tell me? Well, let me tell you how you failed,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that's why I'm like, okay, I have to work in forgiveness. I have to work on forgiveness in my heart. And when things like that pop up, that my blood starts boiling, I have to be sober minded, or I am, because I'm spending time with the Lord, to know, okay, pause. That's a yucky feeling you're feeling. Why?
Yeah.
And then I have to, like, what I did, I went to the room and I cried and I thought it out. But because for me, I'm like such a feeler, I feel intensely. I
Mm-hmm.
can love intensely and I can also get angry intensely.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pause and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? What part of you, what part of what you said is making me feel this way? Is there some truth to it? And do I feel like I'm falling short when I'm trying really hard?
Yeah.
Right? And it's that. And it's just like the humility to say, yeah, I am falling short in that, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I mean, I think so much more of like, maybe I do need help in this area, whatever. But humility and again, forgiveness. I think that in marriage, those are the things that I'm like, okay, if I don't have humility in my heart, which if I'm not spending time with the Lord, I'm not going to have humility in my heart
Yeah.
to forgive you. I'm not going to have humility in my heart that when you say, hey, well, you're lacking here, that I say, hey, okay, thanks, I'm going to work on it. Rather than being like, oh, yeah, well, let me tell you where you're lacking,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I don't know. I just don't feel like that's not how the Lord is,
Yeah.
you know. And I know, and I tell you, and you've seen it, like, I know me without God, and I know me when I'm spending time with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I would say to that, I would add that when you start working and saying, okay, when you start changing your mindset and adopting that mindset that you're describing, you also might feel like you're the one taking steps and maybe your partner's not moving at the same pace
yeah,
in terms of trying to better the relationship, trying to better the communication. At some point, you might feel like you're doing more work and it's not
yeah,
being received, and you're both talking about doing the work and moving in that direction. But one of you might feel like you're carrying more of the weight.
yeah,
I'm sure you felt that way
a lot.
a lot. And what would you say to somebody who feels that?
That you're doing it unto the Lord, not unto man.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I have felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it, maybe I've communicated a few times, but I feel like, here's the thing, guys. I don't know if you've heard this where it says, like, it's God, and then your spouse, and then your children, and then your work, and then your ministry, or ministry work, I don't know. But it's God first.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of expectation for my husband, that I needed him to fill every void in my heart, things that were not his responsibility,
Things that I could never feel even if I tried.
things that he could never fill. Because as a little girl, you have your dad and your mom who need to fill areas. And if I didn't have a dad, I can't expect for Norby to come and be my dad,
Yeah.
because he's not. He's my partner. And so, anyway, coming to that with the Lord of like, okay, I'm feeling very disappointed in my husband because he's not meeting these areas, because those are not areas he's meant to, you know? And so I have to see, okay, Monse, what is hurting you? What do you need? You know? And through so much prayer, just being with the Lord, like, okay, this is how I feel. I feel inadequate. I feel like, I don't know, I'm not enough. I don't feel loved. Whatever that I'm struggling with, I need to give it to the Lord. Like, I had to come knowing that I'm not getting this part from him, and that's fine. I as I brought this to the Lord was revealing my heart to me and showing me my pains and showing me things that are like, hey, you're putting a weight for him that was never meant for him to feel. Only God can do those type of things. And then in that, the Lord showed me his heart as a father, you know, and even in pain per se, like when he's saying you felt like I felt like I'm the only one putting in the work, right? Like, I can't expect him to, I can't be like, read your word, love God how I love God, do things how I do them, because you're not me, and you don't feel how I feel, and you don't think how I think. And so I had to bring that frustration to the Lord. And then the Lord would say, like, hey, like, am I enough? Am I enough? And I had to start saying, yes, Lord, you are enough. You are enough that I'm going to love my husband, not because I want him to love me back, but because I'm doing it unto the Lord. And I think that unto everything that I do, like, I'm going to serve this person, even if they don't say thank you. I'm going to love this person, or I'm going to forgive this person, even if they haven't come say I'm sorry to me when they did the offense. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do things unto you or unto anyone expecting you to do the same. And that's something that the Lord reveals to me over and over and over again. You know, so it's like, yeah, sure, I can be doing more of something, but if I'm keeping tabs, what does it matter? Because that's not how the Lord, that's not why he asks me to do things. You know, when he's saying extend grace, extend mercy, pray, he's not saying like do it for him to do it right back. Like, I'm doing it unto God. Like, I genuinely say, like, when I'm loving you right, I'm doing it unto the Lord. And even when I'm not, I'm doing that unto the Lord. And so for me, again, it's just like surrender. Surrender, like literally surrender to my thoughts, my desires, my expectations unto the Lord. And it doesn't mean that I live a life of like, oh, everyone treat me however they want. No, but it's just like, I don't know. I think when I can lay down my expectations, I can have more grace and I can see people more like the Lord does. You know, and then I'm not so angry at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
What?
lost you. I lost you.
That was a lot.
Don't ask me about my heart because you're going to get a lot.
It's okay. I also want to ask you, what do you appreciate about the way that we communicate now?
I appreciate the maturity. Yeah. That's what I appreciate.
Yeah.
The maturity.
Mm-hmm.
And that I can tell you, hey, I don't like this. And then we don't have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or that I can say, like, hey, I miss you and I want to be with you. And that we don't have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah, the maturity and the humility that it takes
Mm-hmm.
to receive the feedback
Mm-hmm.
that I think we've both had to learn to grow in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I've had to learn to grow in that.
Just the other night, we were having a conversation, and I felt that we were going back and forth because you had this idea of what you wanted. I had my idea of what I wanted, and a little bit of conflict there. And remember, you were saying, "Well, this is this is news to me that you're telling me this is what you want," and I had this whole other idea in my head, and I'm glad, I mean, it wasn't a real argument, but it was just
Well, we saw it
disagree.
escalating.
But yeah, but it was just disagreement,
Right.
and I try to explain to you, it's like, hey, like, we haven't had the opportunity, we haven't sat down to truly have a deep conversation about this.
Yeah.
So we're just spitballing ideas, and that's why we're disagreeing with our ideas, because you don't love what I'm sharing, and I don't love what you're sharing,
Right.
and at that moment we chose to kind of walk away from each other or give each other space. And then you came over and you were like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that, that got to where it got to."
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think
And I kissed you.
you kissed me. And I think that's growth right there too. Like, it's just so healthy to be able to, okay, let's not let this escalate too far. Let me give some space and let me process what just happened, and let me apologize. You know what? That didn't need to go that route, and we can talk about this without arguing.
Yeah.
Let me just cool down a little bit. And in that case, you came over and you apologized to me, but I just think that
Because I think I was in the fault. And I think that I can talk and talk and talk. And I did. And then you said nothing. And then I moved on washing dishes or something. And then I felt like, and then you walked away in that moment.
I walked away. I was like, hey, I said, okay, I'm going to
Right.
go finish my work now.
And the Lord was like, girl, that was not okay. Humility. And I didn't want to do that. But I was like, but I also knew, like, again, the Lord shows you, like, that was not okay. And I knew that in my heart. So I was like, okay, fine, Lord. And I came and I was just like, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you were so gracious to forgive me. Thank you.
But that's growth, guys. I'm telling you, like, you want your relationship to get to that point.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. That's not, I'm sure it gets so much better than where we are right now. I can get so much better. But just the fact that we're now I can say, like, because I remember when we weren't. And when we were just bumping heads and when we couldn't see it each other's way.
Yeah.
Now it's like, dude, it just makes it so much easier to be able to communicate. Not everything needs to be a big argument. Let me hear you out. Let me apologize. That alone, the communication starts to trickle down into your entire relationship. Like,
for sure,
you and I are walking around the house and doing our things, going about our day, and then we're just like saying I love you to each other all day, hugging each other, kissing each other, like showing love to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throughout the day.
Yeah, because it feels like, oh, I miss you. I can't wait till you're not busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lately, you've been telling me, like, oh, I love my life with you. Like, or you've been.
I've always said
you know
that to you, but I do love my life.
You've been saying it, and like, I don't know. It just has felt like super genuine, as you've been saying it, like this week.
Oh.
And
I do love my life with you.
And I'm just like, that's cool. Like, our relationship is in a
You
good...
see, he said that's cool. I'm kidding.
But I'm like, our relationship is in a good place. Like, it's healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're like, love that for you. Just kidding.
I love that for us. You know,
Yeah.
it just feels clean. And it's like, it doesn't mean we're not going to have a disagreement. It doesn't mean we're not going to argue. It doesn't mean that we might not raise our voices at each other in frustration.
No, but that's a big one, because I think, like what you're saying, yes, like, you're going to have disagreements. Let's start there, guys. Okay? If you're having disagreements, love that for you. You're in a healthy marriage. Now, it's the way we handle the disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, let me pause and let me validate what you're feeling. Misunderstandings happen. Right? That's where the misunderstanding happens. When we're disagreeing. You're like, well, you're not saying what I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying what you're saying. But it's like, okay, that's fine. So can you tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me how you're feeling? And I think I say that to you a lot too. Like, okay, don't get mad at me. Like, just explain it to me. Tell me, right? And then when I tell you how I feel, then hear me, right? And I think that the number one thing is, like, validate, don't fix.
Mm-hmm.
Validate, don't fix. And I've said that even to Norb, like, can you just hear me right now? Can you not lecture me? Can you not fight? Can you just accept how I feel? Because you can give me, like, A through Z, because he's very intellectual.
Guys are built this way regardless. It's like, you want to provide a solution. It's like, okay, that's your problem. Okay, this is how we fix it.
Right.
Let me walk you through it.
And that's
Step
fine,
one,
because I
step
think
two.
I'm also like, okay, what's the solution? I'm also that.
But I'm also saying that it doesn't always have to be that. I'm agreeing with what you're saying too, because I've noticed that there's a moment to bring a solution, but there's also a moment just to validate, to say, okay, you know what? Let me just hear you. I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Right.
And that's step one for the guys, like cheat code, like, just, all right, let's start there then. All right. It's not what we're used to, and it's not what's natural to us as guys sometimes. What's natural to us as guys sometimes is we hear what you're saying and we hear the problem, and I just want to give you the solution and the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just see it differently. But All right, girls are a little different, so
Yeah, but let me give you an
let me hear
example.
you.
Let me give you an example. You're working all day.
Mm-hmm.
You've been working all month, all year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, I miss you. Hey, we don't get to hang out anymore. Do you bring me your solution or do you validate my feelings?
What I'm saying is that what I should do is validate your feelings first.
Right, but I'm not asking what you should do. What do you do?
Naturally, what I've typically done is been like, I think, try to come up with a plan. Like, I'm always like, well, we got to plan this. We got to plan that. We got to put in the schedule.
Yeah,
We got to plan for it.
right. And then
And
sometimes
then
we
we
want to
don't
plan
plan
for
for
it.
it.
No, and sometimes we want to plan for it and you're already busy.
Yeah.
For like, wait, let's plan for it, but I'm not available till like 2 more months.
Yeah. Literally, that was my life for a long time. It hasn't
Right.
been that lately, but
So what I'm saying is, do you understand that this is how a lot of women feel?
mhm.
And this is the dynamic for a lot of marriages.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, or I want to hang out. Okay, well, I have work for like the next 2 months.
Yeah.
So in that moment, you could have validated me. In that moment, you can say, hey, I'm sorry, I miss you too. And I really want to hang out. I'm busy for the next 2 months, but I don't know, before bed, let's hang out. Let's talk before bed. 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. I guarantee you, men, your wife is not going to be like, I don't just want 10 minutes. And if she does, baby girl, call me because we need to pray. But it's that validation. It's like when a kid falls. What do we do when a kid falls? We're like, oh, are you okay? Yeah, that's it. That's all we want. And we're not saying like baby everything all the time. It's just the validation of I miss you. And I wonder if you miss me too because you're so busy.
That doesn't fix the problem, but it's a first step.
Yeah, for sure.
That doesn't get rid of the I miss you, but it's like, hey, we both. It's just the acknowledgement, and it's the communication, and it's the acknowledging that it's like, hey, I feel the same. Just so you know, I'm very busy, and I feel the same as you do,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make time. And then you move on to step two, which could be planning. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
let's set a time. Like, hey, you know what? When we sleep the kids, let's talk tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure we get a little bit of one-on-one time, whether it's laying in bed together
Yeah,
or it's outside at the dinner table.
right.
And also, let's plan something. In the
Mm-hmm.
next month, 2 months, can we go do an outing, just you and I? Um, but yeah, but that acknowledgement again, it's like that didn't used to come natural to me,
Yeah.
and I just felt that it was like, okay, let me see where I can fit this in the schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and let's fit it in the schedule. But it wasn't. I wasn't acknowledging how you felt
Yeah.
at all, or saying that I felt the same way.
Right.
Um, but yeah. That's
Yeah.
it.
But I think that if you can learn one thing, one sentence, it's validate, don't fix, you know? And I think that applies to both as a husband and as a wife, like, hey, husband, I'm feeling this way. And for a husband to be able to say, hey, I'm sorry you're feeling this way. I didn't know. Or, hey, I feel this way also. Like, hey, I miss you. Hey, I miss you too, you know? And wife, vice versa. Like, if he's saying, hey, I'm like really exhausted, um, don't get offended. Like, validate that they work so much. Um, and what a beautiful gift, that you have work in this crazy economy. Um, but yeah, I think validate, don't fix keeps our hearts tender, because if not, then we're just like on offense mode all the time, and then that's when we're defensive, that we create like these barriers of like, well, you're not hearing me, so I don't want to hear you. Boom, you're just taking a step away. Well, when you're ready, I'll be ready. Boom, we're taking a step away, and then we're like so far away,
You're
and now
waiting
we're
for
like
each
two
other to take the first
strangers.
step.
Yeah,
You're
and we're now
waiting.
two strangers in a home, but it's like, well, had one of us come in humility and say, hey, like, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean for us to argue, you know?
if you're always waiting for your partner to take the first step, then it's like you're gonna wait forever.
Yeah.
Also, I think both
Listen,
sides should
first one
be.
to the cross wins.
Yeah.
First one to the cross wins. The first one who can come in humility, that's the winner. Like,
Yeah.
and again, like, you're fighting for your marriage, for your person. This is my person that I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life in Jesus' name. You know, that doesn't just happen by accident.
Mm-hmm.
I have to put in the work. We both have to put in the work,
For sure.
right? Okay, so I guess in short, we just want to say that marriage in communication in marriage matters. And as we come in vulnerability, you know, the safer we feel, the more we can speak up. And so we hope that this was helpful for you guys.
Hopefully, just hearing our conversation gives a little bit of context. Again, far from perfect, and we're still working on it, but hopefully, you feel seen and heard,
Yeah.
and you just know like you're not alone in your journey, and we just got to put in the work
Yeah.
and work together and take that first step, so
Start with understanding, and everything else will flow, you guys.
for sure. Cool.
That's it.
Well, appreciate you guys listening. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and please like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff is going to help our videos get boosted and get viewed more, and we want to continue to build this out. And if this gave you any value and you can think of somebody who this might provide value to, please share this video with them. And we'll be back soon with another one. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes. And I would love to hear from you guys. So drop it down in the comments, because I know so many of us have felt this way. And even questions. Please always drop questions. I love conversation. So
Yes.
I'd love to continue this ball rolling with conversation. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, as always.
Peace.